Hello and welcome to episode 99 of the Focus on Gaming podcast. My name is Duncan.
And my name is Tom.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about, doing a couple of reviews, bit of news about Xbox device that's already come out.
Yeah.
And some subscription games that are coming in July. Anyway, hello, welcome back, Tom.
Hello and welcome. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, you've been on some bite sizes, but other than that, so you've had a few weeks off, but now you're back. Yay!
I am back. I've been having a sabbatical.
Yeah.
And
as we say that, Martin isn't here.
But he will be back for the 100th episode.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
Only till next time.
Well, we'll find out. There you go. Right. Anyway, so the news that was leaked before it was actually news. Microsoft, I'll put it in the clickbait version. Microsoft have got a new device out.
Which
but they haven't. They haven't. Meta have released a black Quest 3S that comes with 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate and a controller.
Oh.
And they're selling it for, I don't know how much is it in pounds, but I think I've seen it's
$399.
$399
ish. No, that's UK pounds.
No, it's $380, I think.
Yeah, that's in pounds, that one.
Oh, is that in pounds? Okay, there you go. So it's obviously to encourage Game Pass, but anybody who has got a 3 or 3S, you can already play Game Pass on your VR device. So don't worry, you're not actually missing out on anything except for having an Xbox controller, which you can currently pair with a 3 or 3S. So don't rush out and get one unless you're really worried.
There's actually quite a bit of value to this, though, Duncan. I mean, you get the Elite strap with it, which you don't get on the normal.
Sorry, yes, I did leave that out. You get the Elite strap, but I think I worked it out. I think you only get something like about $30 or £30 worth of benefit from getting this, which is better than buying it all separately. And I'm the Xbox person. I mean, if it gets more people into Game Pass and they get more money and they produce more games on Game Pass, fantastic, love it. But to get people into VR, because there's a lot of people, one thing we've found on Gaming Dads, there's a lot of people on there going, oh wow, excellent, I'll get Forza, and because they think that they can suddenly play all these games in VR. So I've had to sort of make sure that people realise it's like, no, you're just playing Game Pass via the cloud on a massive screen. That's all it is. Now, maybe there's going to be some kind of integration where they have mods that has VR support via the cloud or something, but highly unlikely. No, so this is not Xbox VR. You will not be driving in Forza in VR unless you get some kind of mod on PC that does that somehow. I don't know.
And taking in mind, obviously, you've got the lenses aren't as great as the 3. So
so it is the 3S, which I think it's the 128 gigabyte as well. They're not doing this on the 256 gig, right?
That's right.
So if you want to play a big game, I'm afraid you're going to be filling that up pretty quickly.
But for what it is with the controller, which is pretty sturdy, almost ultimate controller, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not slating. I'd love a 3S, and at some point I possibly will get one. I mean, me personally, the problem is I'd have to invest in lenses, prescription lenses, because that's what I also don't use my stepson's at all, because he has prescription lenses on that, and his are like milk bottoms. So the cost would go up for me. But so if I had £400 burning a hole in my pocket right now, I would probably still not get it because I have no need for an Xbox controller. I have no need for Game Pass Ultimate because I already have it. So it would actually be a loss for me to buy it, whereas I could buy a brand new 3S for £290, and I'd have, bar the Elite strap, which granted full price is £60, I want to say.
Yep.
Bar the Elite strap, I'd have exactly the same experience because I've got a controller. So no need for it really. But if you haven't got VR and you haven't got Game Pass Ultimate and you want to dabble in VR but still have access to a console-like experience, then I think go out there and grab it. It is limited edition. I don't know just how limited. I think it's more a case of it's limited if it doesn't sell well. If it is limited, if it is going to sell well, then we might find a few more behind the sofa.
It's limited until they release it on the 3.
Yeah, there you go. And exactly, it's a lower cost way of getting people onto Game Pass, and eventually, I think there will be a 3 one, or there'll be a 256 gigabyte one, because it'll be limited until we got the 256 gig, and then limited until there's the 3. Are you tempted if you're going to get another VR?
If it was on the 3, I'd want one, but it's not. So I won't.
So you've got 2 VR headsets at the moment, haven't you?
I've got the Quest 2, Quest 3, and the PlayStation VR.
Okay, so you have the 2 and 3. So does a 3S interest you as a one to give to the kids to?
Theirs is the 3, but I tend to use theirs more than mine, which is the 2. Okay. But no, absolutely not. But I prefer a VR headset that's black, and I like the green lines around it, and I think the whole design is fantastic. But again, it would have to be on the 3, not on the 3S. So it's just subpar. So yes, I want it, but not the where it is at the moment.
So I suppose we should explain what it is. The 3S has the same processing power as the 3, but it has the lenses from the MetaQuest 2, which are older, cheaper, and they're not low quality. They're but they are not as they're just not as good. And so because they could make those cheaply, they made the 3S with those, and the 3 has much higher quality lenses, and I think high resolution as well. Is it higher resolution? I think it's higher resolution.
Apparently so.
Yeah. So if you want, if you're just after good processing power, then either will do. If you're after better fidelity, and I think you can have more options. There's more options with the finger tracking, I think, with the 3 compared to the 3S.
I mean, there's that many more options that me as a person with one hand, it actually picks up the hand. So that's how much better it is. But
it is pretty cool. The 3 and the 3S, they both have their place. So I'm going through a time at the moment where I've just bought a car and all this kind of thing. So I've got no money at the moment. So it's definitely not something I'm going to be buying. But you never know. I think by Christmas I may be looking at that. But at that point, I may also be looking at a ROG Ally Xbox. So,
really? Come on, man.
Well, you see, I'm waiting to see what the lower powered one looks like, because the previews of the lower powered ones, the chipset has had previews. The chip that is available has had previews, and I think some of the tech tubers that I watch have said that it's not as powerful as, it's basically the region of the Z1 Extreme, whereas the because it's a Z2 architecture, and the one that is going to be in the lower powered one is sort of about where the Z1 Extreme was, but the Z2, or Zenfone Pro or whatever they're calling it, is a lot more powerful. So you will get much better compatibility. So if they come out and go, yeah, it's a 900 something pounds, I'll be like, yeah, no. If reviews of the lower powered one go, oh, that's pretty good actually. It will play all your games. I'm not that fussed. If they say, oh, you got to play everything at 720p if you play on this one, I'll be like, all right, that's fine. I currently play on a PC that has a 1070 in it, so to be honest, I don't play on the PC much.
Do you not think going for the whole shebang and getting the Xbox version would be better?
Oh, well, they are both Xbox versions. There's no, the white one doesn't have the Xbox button, but it has the same button, just not with their Xbox on it. So at the end of the day, it's just two different versions of the same thing. One's more powerful than the other.
You want it.
Yeah, I do. I want the Ally Xbox X or whatever they're calling it. But if it's £900, I really cannot warrant that. It's very, very much a luxury. I mean, don't get me wrong, my Steam Deck I use just as much as I use my Xbox. And even when I'm not playing PC games, I'm in bed streaming my Xbox to it. So I don't think I'll be invested in VR yet. But if both the next generation of ROG Ally come out and they're £700 and £900, I don't think I'll be getting either. So I may get it. I may get a Quest 3S. Then
I don't think it will take long for.
I mean the ROG Ally X and the original one. Oh, dropping your PC is they're regularly reduced to quite cheap. I mean, I think I've seen a brand new ROG Ally, the original one, not the X variant, for less than £400, like £350.
Yeah.
I think there might have even been at £299 once. But yeah, it's regularly massively reduced. So yeah, I'm happy to wait. I've got a handheld, but having a Windows handheld that I can play all of my Xbox Game Pass games and Xbox games on sounds fantastic. But then again, you've got Xbox to bring in stream your own games. So if they keep adding games to that, I'll be able to stream a lot of my games to my Steam Deck.
True.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a case of wait and see, because I suspect that we're going to have a Microsoft handheld before we know it.
Well, they have said that the handheld that was being developed for 2027 has been not shelved, but put on the back burner, basically. And they, I think, because they're waiting to see how well this does, the third-party versions, because at the end of the day, if they can get people to subscribe to Game Pass, they don't really care if people buy games on Steam or Epic. They'll have their own games on the Windows Store, and so people can buy on there if they want. They won't, because who buys on the Windows Store?
Not a lot of people.
No, nobody. So the only reason I have Windows Store games installed is because they're to play anywhere, and so they're playing through the Xbox app, which the Xbox app now brings in all these Steam games that are installed. Because that was something that somebody posted on Gaming Dads, that it was just a screenshot from a clickbait story about Xbox now allows Steam games, and that was the title. And it was like, And so I approved the post, but I just immediately put a clarification before anyone says anything. This does not mean you can play Steam games on the on Xbox. This is simply the app is aggregating all your games from all launchers. But it's done it without asking on my computer.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I'm an Xbox insider, yes, but I went into it earlier because I was playing the Alters. More on that in a bit. But yeah, I was like, what are all these games on it? Oh, they're the games that are installed. But what's annoying is that it's put games on that my stepson has installed on his username that I don't have installed. So I'm like, I don't want to see that game because that's not installed on my side. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that is annoying.
But
I'm assuming you've got family account, haven't you? Family share.
Family sharing, yeah. I mean, I own I think something like 1,100 games on Steam. He owns 2. So it's more Duncan shares than family shares.
It also sounds like Duncan needs to just chill out a little bit and let him get away with it.
Oh, trust me, he gets away with a lot. Don't worry. No, so yeah, so you cannot play Steam games on the Xbox, but if you have the Xbox PC app, insiders already have access to it. As I said, I already unfortunately have access to it because I don't particularly want it. But they are trying to become like GOG Galaxy, Good Old Games Galaxy, which already does this, and that is a launcher where you can have all your Windows games, Battle.net games, Epic games, Amazon games, and GOG games as well. So, will they succeed? No, I don't think so, because people don't want the Xbox app. People have the Xbox app to play Xbox games. That's what they want it for. And it's not going to bring anything to them other than people being like, yeah, I'll just disable it. Or even if they keep it enabled, they're still going to use Steam because you still have to have Steam installed. It makes no difference. Steam has a lot more features and is a lot more user friendly.
I think if
the Xbox app is user friendly, but Steam is more feature rich, definitely. So
I think if they released a handheld of their own, it would be something that would sell. But I don't. So, but they're not going to do that, not in the short term anyway.
No, because even the one that was shelved was for 2 years' time. So, not happening anytime soon. Now, they still say that next generation devices are coming. What that means, I couldn't tell you. Whether they mean there is a new, what would we have? A Series T and a Series Y, maybe. But whether that comes in a form that means that we get a Switch style thing, but for Microsoft,
there was that video, wasn't there, where they did that interview regarding the new Xbox plans for the future, and they spoke about what they were planning, and essentially it's going to be a high-powered PC. That's where they're going.
Yeah. I mean, if they could make it where I could play my Steam games on my home console, oh god, that would be brilliant. If I could actually natively, I mean, granted, there is such a thing. It's called a PC that you just plug into your TV.
Yeah.
But if I could have it where my Xbox console, and I had a console-like experience, which there is, again, if you have a PC, you just have big picture mode. Or nowadays, SteamOS. But if I could have Windows where I could also maybe connect it to another device and have it as a workstation for my wife and that kind of thing. Great. But it's it's all complicated because you're never going to keep everybody happy. Yes, I would love a box that just sits in my house somewhere and it could stream to all of my screens, and it can stream Xbox, PC, like PCs in gaming and work, Windows, Office, that kind of thing, all the stuff you need. And that was it. Just one little box sitting
But
in
you
the
can do
house.
that already.
Yes, you can. You can technically. I mean, you can have a server sitting in some room somewhere. I ain't got that room. I need a little box.
But you can do that with a little box. It's so easy to set up.
Yeah, but not providing like simultaneous gaming on up to 4 screens.
No.
Unless you're willing to pay, well, basically for a server style computer. If you watch Linus Tech Tips, he's the best one. What he does, he sets up his house with various. Well, he went from having he's got 3 kids, and they had a gaming room, and they used to have PCs or laptops and all sorts. But now he's got a server rack where he's got Blade servers that are individual computers, but it's nothing but problems. Nothing but problems. And you've really got to. I don't know as much as him, and even he needed help from his minions. It's quite hard to get things to stream, and that's why things like Steam Link are so good. But they are only good for one device. You can't go play 2 games on this one PC, especially unless you've got a really powerful PC and you're playing an older game. And then stream to 2 different places where 2 different places then control it. That's really difficult.
I think I could set that up. Actually, that's one thing I think I can do. So,
a server PC that has one PC playing 2 games and streams to 2 different screens.
Yeah,
where you can control on that remote screen.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. That's the 100th episode there.
Making it happen.
No, it's a lot harder than you think.
I used to stream a 9 terabyte setup between the lounge and the bedroom. About what are we on now? Probably
no. But I want two different games playing on 2 different screens, and the person to be able to control that game.
Right.
Without fuss as well. I want to start up this game.
Right.
And 2 different people going, I want to start up 2 different games.
I think the only restriction I had back in the day, you both couldn't play the same game.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it is possible. I just think it's a bit too complex. So, but if a company could have that, where everything can be played simply without the need for servers or working out how to do things or having to do things in a certain order. Imagine if Microsoft came out and there was just something the size of the Xbox Series X, and they went, right, this is a PC, but it's got 4 HDMIs on the back, and it's got a HDMI streamer in it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And you just went, right, I want to connect to HDMI 1, and you could hardwire it or you could stream it. Oh, my goodness.
That would be awesome.
That would be good. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. So,
no.
Right.
We'll move on from that.
So, I wanted to talk about the altars. So we'll go on to that next because it's such a good game. I'll start off by saying, do you like Fallout Shelter?
No.
No. As in, don't like it or haven't played it?
I played it. I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that's a small part of the game. Is basically like a Fallout Shelter. I'll tell you the premise. You're a space. You're a builder that builds things in space or on planets, kind of thing. And you crash landed on a planet. All your people are dead, and you start off in a third person on a rocky planet that's just bare rock, and you have to go through basically a tutorial and find your base. And your base is basically a big, like a massive wheel, as in sort of a 10-story wheel, where you have a grid, and there are, when you start, there's like the captain's room, there's various other rooms like a kitchen or a workshop and all this kind of thing where you can build things. You can move things around in the base, so you can put things where you are, and there's an elevator that takes you off. But not only is there a Fallout Shelter style 2D, like from the side, but you can zoom in and walk around the place yourself and actually interact with all the facilities, like the workshop where you can craft things. And then what you have to do to start with is go out and find resources and set up mining things and all this kind of thing. But then you make contact with people who then tell you there's branching mind in a computer, and it's your mind. And what you can do is you can make alters of yourself, which basically imagine when you were 16, instead of doing one thing, you won the lottery and you took yourself off and became a doctor. I don't know. Or let's say, the guy who you are, there was one person who stood up, one of the first people you meet, you create. You choose the branch of their life, and then you can create that person. So they have all the memories of that branch. And so the first person you make is a technician. And what it was, they had an abusive dad. So your character didn't stand up to him. The other character did stand up to him. And that made him have a completely different life. He became a technician. And so you have to wake up. But because he's actually a clone, he sort of finds out that he didn't actually do all those things.
Right.
So basically, you're making clones of yourselves, and you can make as you can expand the base, and you can originally make up to, I think, 3, but then you expand the base and you can make 4. You expand the base and you can make 5, kind of thing. And you have to give different jobs to people. You have to keep up the psychology of like the fact that they know that they're clones, and they all sort of hate you a bit because you're the original. And then I suppose it's only after Act 1 you find out this. They find out that they've all got a problem with their brain, which means they're all going to die if you don't find a cure. There's things you can find out on the planet that will make them happy, because it's things that were from your packages. So it's basically like a factory style. It's sort of a factory style game where you have to get different resources and make sure that you can assign them jobs. And if you assign them jobs that they particularly are good at, then they do those jobs better, obviously, than other ones. But there's also I think they must have done a deal with a YouTuber or YouTubers called Chris and Jack, who are like sketch comedy on YouTube. And you can find movies on the planets that you're on the planet that you're on. And you can actually watch these full movies with your other alters to make them happy. And it's quite funny. So I presume all their videos are available on their YouTube channel. So yeah, it's Chris and Jack. But they're down as movies in the social room that you build. And it's just such a good game, because it's a lot of these games there where you have resources or Fallout Shelter, that kind of thing. They're never ending. But you could see an end to this game, because the point is you have to keep moving the base, because the sun, if it comes up, it will burn you. It will kill you. The radiation's too much. So you have to basically get past some obstacles, build things, while also keeping food, radiation shields and all this kind of thing. And the fact that it's got a story and an end game, that you're trying to get to a place where you can be rescued, and there's people that are helping you that you think, are they helping, or are they scheming, or are they scheming against people who are like a company that you work for? Kind of thing. So it's just a fantastic game. Now, it's been in the news today that apparently they've used AI content and haven't disclosed it. But I don't think they're particularly...
Why does that matter?
I don't think they're particularly... Well, I think it's because Steam, by their rules, you've got to disclose if you used AI. That's all. And
it's
obviously...
Who cares?
And obviously, it's people saying art. So... But other than that, it's a great game. I would highly recommend playing it if you like any kind of... Yeah, even The Sims. Going out and scanning for where there's minerals and unlocking the whole maps, because it's quite small maps, but you have to upgrade your grappling hook to be able to climb taller rocks. You have to upgrade your ability to get materials faster. All these kind of things. But you could choose. Do I want to get more resources? Oh, but I haven't got enough storage, so I might as well build this thing, which means I can then build that thing or move on and get this thing. But then there's also, you have to go out and find these planetary samples, and if you don't get them, then you can only research to a certain point. But then research has to be done by a scientist. But then if you want people to recover from radiation sickness quickly, then you have to have a doctor. But they might rebel against you if you don't do what they're asked. They might ask, we need a day off from working. Or you can make them work longer than normal. So there's lots of moral choices. And it's really, really good. And I thought I'd just play it for an hour or two, and then go, yeah, it's not for me, kind of thing. But I think I've possibly put about 15 hours into it so far.
Wow.
It's on Game Pass now. It's also on PC and I think PS5 as well. So yeah, go get.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're on PS5, probably you. Hang on.
I think it's available to stream fast movie. Or it's coming to it anyway.
PS5. Yeah, the Alters PS5. There we go. Yep, it is on PS5. And it's also, there you go. Even on PS5, it's £29. So it's not a full price game. And I think I haven't completed it yet. I've finished the first 2 acts, which I think there's 4 or 5 acts. And I think you'll probably have the ability to have a different outcome depending on which alters you create, and whether you say to them, yes, I will do exactly what you ask, or whether you go, no, suck it up and work harder. So yeah, it's a fantastic game. Absolutely love it. Is it overtaking Claire Obscure? No, it's not. But it's, for me, it's a 9 out of 10. I think it's that high. I think it's definitely a 9 out of 10.
Graphically, it looks amazing. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, for a, it's not really an indie one, but it's not a big studio, 11-bit studios, and so get it. Create your alters and have fun with them, or treat them nicely. No, yeah.
What to check out, definitely.
If we were going to go with, it's been a good time to have Game Pass recently. A good time. One that I would say personally has not impressed me. Has been Volcano Princess, which suddenly appeared. Now, reviews of it Xbox reviews are pointless. They never pay any attention to them. But there was obviously loads of 1-star things because it was just this weird. It felt like a mobile game, but I think it's a PC game, and it's basically a time management. You could either you're bringing up a daughter because the mom's died, but it's Japanese to the point where literally there is no English voice option. And yeah, it's all they would need to do is have something available that goes, boost your things for $1.99, and it would just feel like a mobile premium game. But it's that kind of Steam, maybe like $5.99 Japanese style, like time management 2D cartoony thing. It shouldn't be on Game Pass. I have no idea what. I mean, they're maybe trying.
Looks like it belongs on the Nintendo DS or something.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. You just sort of tap to improve your creativity, or to tap to have a lesson in, because you're bringing up this little girl. Tap to have have some play time, or tap to have some reading time and improve your intelligence. And then, so I presume there's lots of different endings or something where you can have a daughter who's a soldier, or daughter who's a scientist or whatever. And it's not going to be for most, I think, because there was a couple of reviews on the Xbox thing that said, "Oh, this has got a really very positive on Steam. People should give it a chance." It's like, yeah, but there's so many visual novels that have a positive on Steam, because there's lots of, I won't say weirdos, but there's lots of people who like that kind of crap on it, and it's not for me. So I would give that a 4 out of 10. But yeah,
obviously we've seen we've got the new Terminator game.
Oh yes, the pixel graphics one. Yes, that's I've seen that being mentioned a few times. It's coming on all devices.
Everything. Yeah. So exciting stuff. It looks really good. So
I'm just trying to find out when does it come out?
not sure. I don't think it's far away because there's a lot of press on it.
I'm just trying to see. Is it Terminator Survivors? No, that's not it. There is a Terminator Survivors. We're not talking about that one. That is an action adventure open world game. Where is it? I'm just trying to. Oh, you go. Terminator 2 retro game. Nope. Oh God, they're just mentioning it. Oh, Terminator 2D No Face, it's called. I'm just currently searching for it. On Steam, it is coming out on the 5th of September.
There we are. Not
There
too
you
long.
go. So what's that? 9th month. So
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, because it's end of September, so 3 months. It looks fantastic. Especially, I don't know if you've seen, but one of the screenshots they've got is when he is obtaining clothes.
Oh yeah, and they had to blur out his man piece.
No, they haven't. If you go on the Steam store, I'm just silencing. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, number 5. Picture number 5 on the Steam store, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger pixelated with his dick out. Yep. Don't get me wrong, it's a very low. It's only a few pixels long, but that is definitely a penis.
Just what you want.
Yep. So I think, hang on, does it have a PEGI rating yet? Yep, 16. Violence and bad language. Doesn't say anything about penises, so or nudity. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't class that kind of stuff. I don't know. Yeah. It is men's thing, and they are the classifications are generally biased towards women's nipples and whatnot. Because you can't have women's nipples, but you can have men's nipples.
That's a whole different podcast.
Well, fortunately, saying the word nipples doesn't mean I've got to click the explicit button.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger's penis.
I did say penis a few times, and I did say dick. Oh well, fuck it. Dick. Arnie's bedick. Yeah. I guess I'll be clicking that button today. Right. Have you been playing anything? We haven't actually. I've been nattering along. Have you been playing anything recently?
What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of retro on that little handheld thing. So
you have an R36S, yes?
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot on there. A lot of getting Amstrad and PSP working on there and stuff like that. Although I just re-downloaded
it. Is it a dual stick or single stick?
Dual stick.
Oh, cool.
And you can add. There's a USB-C at the bottom where you can add a controller for a 2-player. But I've just been trying to get RoboCop and Terminator 2 working, and Terminator 2 still doesn't work. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah,
you know why there's no ROM for the Amstrad version that's working? Because nobody wants to play Amstrad.
Well, I want to play it. Shut your face.
But I bet you if you try to find a ROM for the Spectrum and the C64, there'll be tons of them.
Maybe. But I love it. I suppose I could download the Commodore version, but it's not the same.
Or I suppose the best versions were like the Amiga and ST, weren't they?
I don't.
Because they would have been around that kind of time, wouldn't it? I mean, the film came out in 1992, 91. So the game probably would have come out soon after that.
Yeah, I think really, I mean, all of the games were naff, but I think in terms of the actual game,
we're talking about the ones that was basically a bunch of mini games, wasn't it? You had to reassemble his face and whatnot. Yeah. So I mean, the one that's coming out in this year is more of an action platformer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more like the Mega CD version of Terminator 1,
just with added Schwarzenegger penis.
Yeah, although apparently it's not actually Schwarzenegger.
Well, it's a guy that's naked in a bar, beating up bikers. So, that for those who haven't seen Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger appears outside of a biker bar. He walks in the biker bar, says, "I need your coat, your boot, and your motorcycle." They go, "Ha ha 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 ha," and burn a cigar in his chest, and he just stands there and looks at it, and then they stab him in the chest, and then he beats the living daylights out of them, and takes the clothes and appears outside to the
yes, essentially.
Such a good film.
Yeah. And I've watched it on VR the other day. So very good.
Nice. So how's it look on a 120-inch screen?
Well, really good actually, because it's a digital download from the Google Store, and it's been 4K'd up. So yeah, really good. So yeah, but yeah, I think you're right. The Amiga 500 version definitely looks like the best version.
Yeah, I mean, compared to all the 8-bit computers like your Amstrad C64 and everything, the Amiga and ST absolutely pissed all over them.
Well, the Amiga one also had a gun in it, whereas on the Amstrad and Spectrum version, they didn't. They just punched and kicked.
Punch, kick. Wasn't that that's Parappa the Rapper, wasn't it? No. So you've been playing a bit of Terminator 2 and looking forward. Is this all because Terminator 2? You're looking forward to the one?
I am looking forward to it. It is on my purchase list, but no, it's just because I got the handheld and I wanted to fulfill the bug of not wanting to collect anymore. And the only way I can do that is to get as many of the things on there that I like as possible, so that it is scratched essentially.
Well, we talked about this before. Is the collection? It's like if you're going to collect, you're probably not going to play, because the playing will wreck things. Especially, obviously, Amstrad, you got tapes, and Spectrum, you got tapes and whatnot. If you play them, they're going to get ruined. But
if you don't play them, it's going to get ruined.
Yeah, well, okay, but you can mitigate that to happening in a slower. But we've had this discussion before about whether do you collect for playing or do you collect for look at this? Oh my god, I got it!
Yeah,
and you are a player. You like to play these things.
Yeah, the other thing is also, and I think it harks back to the fact of when you were a kid in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have a lot. I think you'll agree with me on this. We didn't have a lot. So what we did have, we looked after. And I think there were many times you'd see adverts in the back of magazines that say, call this number and win this, this, and this. Or you go to like a game store or Woolworths or something, and it'd have like all these different consoles, none of which you could afford. And to be able to go back now and go, I own that, and I own every game for it, and look at this box art, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, but then everything that succeeded was generally cheap for the time.
But then you look at that, and someone the other day was complaining about the PlayStation Pro 5, and they were comparing the price. And if you go back, look, and obviously taken for inflation, you look at the Mega Drive, you look at the Super Nintendo, and you look at the 3DO, the CDI.
Well, the Mega Drive was cheap though. It's things like the CDI, the 3DO, the Jaguar, those kind of things were the ones that they all failed because they were too expensive.
Well, they failed because they were shit. But price-wise, they're comparable to today's consoles. If you look at inflation, even the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, when they first come out on their very first release dates, they were expensive. They were affordable compared to the CDO, the 3DO, or the CDI, or the Jag, but they were still expensive. I mean, even an Atari, I think you were paying $399 for with a multi-pack. So, that's. I think people lose track of actually what you're getting.
Oh, there's definitely. I mean, we're still every single week on Gaming Dads, we get people who are like, "Do you remember back in the day when games were complete and you didn't have to pay for DLC? There was no day one patches." It's like, I also remember all the crappy games that you couldn't complete because they had a bug in them.
Yeah. Like Turbo Outrun.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest games. I have a tattoo on my arm of Manic Miner, and it was it Jet Set Willy that you couldn't actually complete?
You could, but there were bugs, and if you got
as it came on the tape, you couldn't complete it, could you?
Yeah, there were bugs. Yeah,
there was a bug because he was forced to shove it out the door quicker than he wanted.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the biggest one of that is look at ET. I mean, that destroyed an industry.
Yeah,
but
so
they gave him 6 months to make the game.
Things didn't come complete. What people compare it to is things like Legend of Zelda or Super Mario. But then there are bugs in Super Mario. Generally, they haven't been game-breaking bugs. Well, they haven't been great game-breaking bugs. So, but there have been bugs in there that speedrunners have used to do various things. And Legend of Zelda and Nintendo are very good at making sure that things work very well, and they test them to death, and they bring them out, and their games are very good quality. But if you go outside of that, then there was hundreds for each generation. There's been hundreds and hundreds of games that come out that have had some massive bug in it that okay, sometimes may have just been quite funny. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, things like Cyberpunk coming out on on Xbox One and PS4, they should have never released it for it because they were holding themselves back. But then for that was business people probably going, no, we want to have it as many people as possible.
But interestingly, you look at people like Nintendo. They release the Switch. All the games that come out on the Switch, they just work.
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo are a nitpick with all the little things, and they test things. And now, don't get me wrong, there are games out there, Zelda games out there that there are, I won't say bugs, but there are glitches and things that people use to, whether it's to get more items or whether it's to skip bits of the game or all this kind of thing. And these are things that nowadays, it's like people will go, "Oh, look at what you can do." People are cheating. It's like people have been cheating on every single format ever since Pong. I used to have my dad's interstate console. It was a Pong machine, and it had a gun with it, a light gun. And I used to sit about 20 centimeters from the TV and go click, 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 and I'd have a score of 200 before you knew it. Now, granted, it had no timer, nothing. It just had a score in the top corner. That
used to own
that
them.
was it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't particularly exciting. Hence why I sat 20 centimeters away and just sat there clicking. Click, 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 click.
You could do the same with the CDI when you used to play Mad Dog McGree and all things like that. You could just literally shoot more or less at the TV and you would still win.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, because the area was a certain size, if your TV was, let's say, a 18-inch, then what it did is quite often with the light guns, it flashes a black screen with a white dot or vice versa or whatever, and it flashes that just one frame of that where you're meant to shoot. Now, if your screen's only 18 inches and your light gun is aiming quite a large place area, or the dot is whatever, then it will pick up that light and register it as a hit. So
I had a Trinitron projection TV, which was like massive for the day. That was pretty awesome until one day I knocked it off the stand it was on, and it fell backwards and just killed the insides.
You used to get burning with those as well, didn't you? Screen burn.
Yeah. I never had it, but
unfortunate if you were watching like Basic Instincts, let's just say, or something more graphic. Like somebody come in and like, oh look, let's put Teletubbies on for the kid. What have you been watching?
I never ever could get what people made of Basic Instinct. I did not see anything on that movie.
Oh no! If you paused it, you could see some pig. That was it.
Yeah, I never saw anything.
If you search on YouTube, not on YouTube because they won't show it. If you search on Google, I mean, there's a debate, and it's like whether you can see full on nudity with it. So no, but tell you what, here's a porn site. Go and look at that. I think Sharon Stone doesn't regret that film because it made her career, but
it was one of her only successes, let's face it.
Yeah, it's
funny enough you mentioned Pornhub. I saw something online.
I did not mention Pornhub.
You did.
I said, here's a porn site. That's all I said.
So apparently they're going to be putting interactive games, videos on their site for people to play.
I mean, there's already loads. I mean, you can get interactive sex games on Steam.
You can get interactive sex games on the bloody CDI, but
they were terrible. Tom's disappeared. So if you go onto Steam right now you could I mean, I personally disabled adult ones because there's just so many. They were making all the AAA games disappear because they were just lost behind these like terrible sex games. The worst of the sex games. Oh my god, they're just like yeah. I mean, I had one appear. I think I might have got it in a bundle on Fanatical. The Lust of M or something like that. Oh, I don't know what it is, but I've never played it because it would appear on my library of played games. So I've never played that. But yeah, I even though I blocked all the adult games from my search, I still get ones appearing sometimes that I don't think they're bypassing the search or anything. I think it's just even things that you've said don't show. I think sometimes they're like, oh, but you've searched for this, so we'll just show you this possible.
Or, yeah, that just make their way in, don't
they? Yeah, so they're pretty terrible.
That's your excuse anyway.
But they're just as bad as like the CDI games or that kind of thing. They're just more modern.
Yeah. I mean, you have things like Voyeur and The Joy of Sex and things like that on the CDI, and
well, if it's like The Joy of Sex, the actual Joy of Sex DVD, VHS, that kind of thing. Obviously, in the UK, there wasn't hardcore pornography before pre the internet. You couldn't get it, and eventually they did go, okay, you get it from sex shops. But The Joy of Sex had hardcore sex in it. Oh god, it was a scandal that you could get this, and it showed actual sex. It was like because it was advertised as educational, and I think they got away with that with probably the CDI version as well. So there you go. If you want some 1990s hardcore pornography, The Joy of Sex. Yay.
I never ever ventured into looking at that, to be honest with you.
Well, you had to have the video add-on as well, didn't you, for the CDI?
I have that. So
well, there you go. So you can get it. Right. Well, hang on. eBay. I wonder if eBay has The Joy of Sex CDI.
Of course it does.
Here we go. Yes, it does. £42.
You're excited by this, aren't you?
Oh, come on. You know you want it.
I had it. I had both of them, but I never ever.
But hang on, both? There was The Joy of Sex too?
There was.
I'm just looking up. No, that's not available, I'm afraid.
No.
Just The Joy of Sex. It's a video CD as well, so it's not actually interactive, is it?
I don't know. As I said, never played it. So
today on on the Focus on Gaming podcast, Tom lies through his teeth.
I didn't, honestly.
No. Okay, we all believe you, don't we, listeners? Yep, we totally believe Tom.
Please check out our Facebook page and comment accordingly.
Yeah, no, it's by the looks of it is just a video CD, so you probably have the same things as the VHS, just twice the price, and you just pick which scene you want to look at. So.
And they're pixeled.
And it's I mean it's a 1990s video, so my goodness, it's low resolution. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get to old age. So yeah.
Yeah, and my eyesight's going, so everything's blurry now if I don't wear my glasses.
Right. Don't I know it? I've just ordered some new ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's enough of retro sex. If you do want porn, go look at porn sites. I don't know. Anyway, right. Yeah, I don't know how I could segue into Game Pass Ultimate games and PlayStation Plus games from that.
You couldn't.
Well, do you know what doesn't have sex games?
Go on.
PlayStation Plus and Game Pass Ultimate.
That's true.
Speaking of which, There you go.
You're doing well.
Perfect segue. So it looks like it's going to be, I'm going to say, another win for Game Pass in July.
I'd agree.
I know I am the Xbox sort of aficionado on the podcast, but but the number one game on PS Plus is Diablo 4, which of course is technically a Microsoft game.
Mm-hmm.
So PS Plus are getting Diablo 4, which is a fantastic game. If you like that kind of thing. I did not, because everything was grey and miserable.
I won't be.
It just bored the living crap out of me, really. It's just everything was grey, and even when there was a tree, everything was around it was grey. Everybody lived in a town that was muddy and grey. Enemies, oh look, there's a bit. Oh no, they're dead, so they're grey. Ugh. It just, I don't get it. Why do you want to be that miserable about a game? I mean, there's horror that gives you a bit of adrenaline, but it's just click, 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 click. Oh look, I've got some better gear. Click, 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 click. Oh, I've got a better pair of gloves. That's it. And that's the game. And I personally, I don't get it. It's fine if you like it. Granted, comment about how I'm wrong. But
isn't that the same for all games? They're either too complicated or just not enough. And we need simplicity in games.
Do you know the other game though? There's King of Fighters 15 that's coming to PlayStation Plus. The other game is Jusant. I don't know. JUSANT. It's basically a game where you climb. So it's sort of a puzzle, quite relaxing. Because it's a puzzle game where you have to climb up, and that's it. So there's a story about having to get to the top of various places. It's altogether quite nice, relaxing game. So if you want something to chill out to, it looks basic but pretty. It's got some color in it, unlike Diablo. It's a good sort of indie style game. And out of the three of them, that's the one. If I was PS5 owner, I would be like, I'm going to play Jusant.
I am going to look at that one.
It's on Game Pass, or it was on Game Pass, and it's a chill game. Now, Game Pass. Now they have quite an interesting. I mean, they've got quite a few that are coming to Game Pass Standard, but ones that are coming coming back to Ultimate. You've got Little Nightmares 2, which I'm very much looking forward to because I've never actually played Little Nightmares.
Really good.
Past about the first half an hour because I've just never got around to it. And so I'm thinking Little Nightmares 2, they've improved things, whatever, and it's got good reviews. I'm gonna try and play through it if I'm not still playing through the altars. So it's got some proper nightmare fuel. Little Nightmares games have. Like things with stretched necks and like proper horror. It's like stop frame animation style graphics, isn't it? Like claymation. And it's basically a stealth platformer, really, isn't it? Little Nightmares. If you haven't played them before,
it's a lovely game.
And I think Little Nightmares you could also get on mobile. Give it a go. It's available quite cheap, I think, on most platforms. The original. I don't know about the second one, but anyway, the second one's called Game Pass. So you got Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I'm not sure has been on Game Pass before, but I think it might have because I think I've played it before and I don't own it, although I own it on PC. So But the big one probably is, well, there's two of them. Tony Hawk's 3 and 4. Now that it's owned by Activision.
Great games.
Or they own Activision.
Is this the remasters that are coming out?
Yep, this is the remaster that's coming out, and it's a day one Game Pass if you're on Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh.
So yeah, there is a demo available right now if you are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which has college and another map, but I can't remember what it is. Forge, that's it. Forge and college, I think it is. And you can play as Doom Guy. You can play as Master Chief, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Master Chief? Anyway, definitely Doom Guy. So yeah, so it's looking like it'll be just if you liked Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, or you were somebody who played one of the original ones, those will be fantastic games. They play just like the original. Personally, it's a game that I like using the D-pad for, because you have to do very specific, left, down, up for a move or something. And yeah, it's quite hard to get used to after all these years, because it's been 25 years since I played these games, and they're a bit faster than I remember. And I'm a bit slower.
You just got old. That's what it is.
Yeah, I am definitely slower. The other big one is Grounded 2. It's only coming to game preview, so it's not the full game, but same as the first one, where give it a year, there'll be a 1.0 release, and it's coming day one to Game Pass. So there possibly won't be achievements yet, but the story possibly won't be finished, so that'll be what you don't get. But other than that, there is Abiotic Factor, which I think is some kind of survival game. Apparently, it's quite good. I don't know. Haven't played it. Wheel World, which is an Annapurna interactive game, so it's sort of an arcadey game with a story. So that kind of thing. And then Wuchang, which is a Souls-like. So it's on the 30th of June, we've got Call of Duty World War II coming to Game Pass, as they're slowly bringing all the Call of Duties to Game Pass.
Are they all going to be online with online play
though? What, Call of Duty?
Yeah, like the old version.
Oh no, World War II is one of the modern ones. It only came out on the Xbox One. Oh. So it will be. They are meant to be bringing some of the classic ones. I mean, obviously, Black Ops 2 is already on Xbox, because you could get it on via backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
So they could bring that one at some point. All the original like Call of Duty that was on PC, that's difficult. Because they could probably bring it to PC tomorrow if they wanted. But that was such a good game, because it had the D-Day landings. And it was so groundbreaking, because at that point it was all about like Doom and Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And this Call of Duty came out, and it was like, oh wow, this is, and it was, rather than being some one-man army, you were in battles. So you had people walking alongside you. So it was more about the whole war and the story, rather than just, hey, you're a one-man army, kill all these thousands of people.
Everyone must die.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, you are still a one-man tank kind of thing. But you did have, especially on the original one with the D-Day landings, I think on Frontline, was it on consoles? You had loads of other people shooting, and you had the Germans shooting from the bunkers. It felt really good, really good. So yeah, I do hope they bring those.
Problem I have is too many buttons. That's my problem.
Yeah, obviously, because you've got to do the moving and the camera and all the grenades and reloading and all that kind of thing. Obviously, only having one hand is going to be a little bit of a hindrance. Now, do you remember, though, the original PlayStation had first-person shooters, even with the single stick? Because what you had to do, you had to you had to move, and you could only strafe, but then you had to use the stick, the bumpers, and then move the stick to look.
I do, and I really struggled with that.
It was terrible. It was terrible, but it was so good at the time that you could play this game on a console. Because I had Call of Duty and Medal of Honor on PC, and they were so good. So when they came to console, I was like, ooh, yay! And Medal of Honor wasn't too great, but then I think it was mostly PS2 era started getting the first-person shooters. Yeah, because they had the dual controls.
I had to struggle to remember which way was up, down, left, right, and like all of a sudden someone would appear, and I'd end up looking up and down and
inverted all the way.
Oh, my brain can't cope with it.
So you and up is up and down is down.
I'm doesn't matter which way it's going. If someone appears, I'm going to panic.
So. Oh, trust me. All you got to do is play something like Rainbow Six Siege. Play something like that, and I'll be like, and because it's one shot can kill somebody as long as you get them in the head. When I was playing that from launch and was playing it quite a lot, oh my goodness, the amount of times that I'd be the last person. I'd get the kill, but of course it shows the last kill in the replay. So I just have 4 people in my ear pissing themselves laughing at me going around a corner and somebody being there and just going, ah! Just this gun going all over the place and just happened to shoot them in the head. Because it got my heart going, that game did. Yeah.
I recently introduced a friend of mine to Fortnite, and it's quite comical actually because he's going, "Where have you landed?" "I'm over here." "Where's here?" "Just here. Come over here." And then he's like, "I don't know what gun to get." "Well, get this one." "What one?" "That one."
If they're purple, just get the purple one.
That's how we spend going through it. So yeah.
Have you ever tried to play DayZ? That's now that trying to find each other on that. Oh my goodness. If you're not on the coast, it's just a nightmare to find anything. But yeah, so trying to find friends on that and be like, I'm just up there. And you walk for 15 minutes to find somebody, and you'd get close to each other, and then you'd meet somebody and they'd shoot you, and you were like, God damn it!
Yeah.
I used to be the person that would meet up with somebody, we'd get a load of stuff, and then they'd be like, I wonder if a grenade blows that up, and I'd be like, I don't know, and just walk up to this thing holding a grenade and blow myself up on purpose because I couldn't be bothered to be serious in that game. No.
You're that person.
Yes, I'm that person. I'd walk up and just shout Leroy Jenkins. Kind of thing.
I used to do the same with international track and field.
Oh, such a good game.
It was a button basher. But
obviously, well, you see, I was more of a Daley Thompson's decathlon guy.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same as the other one.
No, but it was damn good.
Oh, it was damn good, yeah. I mean, I broke a couple of joysticks on it.
Well, see, I was a rubber key Spectrum tapping.
My hand and fingers are too big for that crap.
Yeah. Yes, I did have that advantage of having 2 hands.
And tiny fingers.
And tiny fingers, yes. So, yeah, I mean, Dane Thompson's Decathlon and Decathlon 2. We used to play it as a family kind of thing. And I think eventually they were all like, oh my God, this 6-year-old is beating us. Or probably, well, it's probably more 8 years old. Yeah, so I used to be able to beat my family. So,
were you already drinking beer at that stage?
Probably. I don't know. My mum and dad used to let me have a stubby when I was about 10.
Oh, really?
Only with Sunday lunch. I was allowed one, but
that made all the difference.
Oh yes. They were like the little stubby beers that were like 2%, and also maybe sometimes little sherry. That should tell you how much what kind of upbringing I had.
A northern upbringing.
Well, no, little middle class upbringing.
Middle class
upbringing. Oh yeah, so you only have a little sherry with Sunday lunch if you're middle class.
Yes.
Yeah, but right, we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes now. Obviously, we have had to get a lot out because you haven't been here for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So yeah, we was going to mention some of the other games that have been on. Crash Bandicoot 4 has come on to Game Pass recently. I'm enjoying it so far. It's one of the. It's not as hard as the remakes of 1 and 2 and 3 because it's done for modern audiences, so you can do it. But to master it, to get all the gems and everything, is very hard. But you can complete it, whereas the remakes were sort of, oh my God, I'm on like level 3 and it's really hard. So I'm quite enjoying Crash Bandicoot 4, but the Alters has taken it over.
I've not enjoyed the new Crash Bandicoots.
Okay, well, I mean, this one it's very reminiscent of the older ones.
Is it on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass. Yeah, I mean, the remakes I didn't stick with them because they were so hard, and I'm sure that they weren't this hard, or I'm sure that I wasn't this good because I completed the first one, and then as in like I completed it and got all the gems and whatever. Back in the days when you didn't even have to. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't get on with it. Maybe it's just because I suck nowadays. I do most games on easy nowadays.
I went into a shop the other day, and they had.
Well done, you.
This was on my lunch break, and they had a Switch 2 display with Mario Kart World, whatever it is, running. And I took great joy in more or less finishing 2 of the CCs while I was standing there. So,
well, apparently, have you seen that if you get Luigi and just put it on auto accelerate and auto this and auto that, like in the accessibility options, you could literally just put the controller down and you'll win.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I saw a video of it the other day, and somebody was saying, "Oh, you may have seen this happen." And he's like, "What happens if I do it with 4 controllers?" And so he had two controllers that he took all the Joy-Cons off, selected 4 different variants of Luigi, set them all to full accessibility, and came 1, 2, 3, 4. He just literally, he was like, "Can you hear it? They're buzzing away. I'm not doing anything. I haven't got 4 hands, 4 pairs of hands to play this. I'm by myself." So obviously, got to take his word for it. But apparently that's a thing. Just all you have to do: select Luigi, put auto everything on, and sit back and watch him win.
That sounds.
I'm sure it will be patched. Pretty sure it will be.
Doesn't sound very fun.
No. But at the same time, if you want to unlock things,
yeah, true.
Yeah. Other than that, I think Switch 2 is doing all right, isn't it? Mario Kart got good reviews. The highest reviews, of course, are the Zelda remakes, which are they're not remakes, they're the upgrade things, which are basically remasters.
How many times can you remaster bloody Zelda?
Yeah, exactly. So because there was basically clickbait stories saying about how the Switch 2 had the highest 3 rated games of the year so far. It's like, no, it has 2 or 7-year-old games that are really highly rated anyway, just coming back. So yeah, so Donkey Kong still haven't got that out, but hopefully that'll be out soon. And
I played it.
Good reviews. Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think the controls take some getting used to, the whole going through things and whatnot.
It's certainly comparable to the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong, that's for sure.
It's 3D.
Yeah, but in terms of gameplay.
Can you smash through things in that?
Yes. Yeah, because you get...
But not in a direction that you want, though, can you?
No. But
it is very much... It reminded me of Astroneer. So if anyone's played that, and how you could just go through, you aim the mining laser or whatever, and it just cuts through things. That's basically what Donkey Kong is.
Yeah.
So that's another one that's on Game Pass if you want to play a survival game.
Oh, Donkey Kong.
No, Astroneer.
Oh, Astroneer.
Could you imagine Donkey Kong being on Game Pass? Now, that would be a scoop.
That would set Nintendo.
I don't think you asked for permission. We put what we want on. We bought you. Right.
On that note,
it's been an hour and 20 minutes now. So thank you for listening for this long. Welcome back, Tom.
Thank you.
Focusongaming.co.uk for all our episodes. Leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, a review, a comment.
Flag us off if you want.
Yeah. I don't think we haven't had to delete anything yet, so
we'd love to. Feel free.
So, really wish Duncan would occasionally just shut up.
I actually could sit here in silence and leave him talking, and he would just talk to himself.
Well, I mean, we could say that that's literally what's happened today because you dropped out.
For a brief second, yeah.
Well, hopefully people won't notice.
Apart from the fact you just told them.
Well, no, I did actually say, oh, Tom's dropped off. I'll just carry on talking. And I carried on talking, and then I paused the recording. So
what happened was, people, is I forgot to plug my laptop in.
Oh, it was your battery, was it? Oh that's right.
Okay. Silly me.
Silly Billy. Right.
Good night.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you for episode 100. And on that note,
who'd have thought?
Bye.
Bye.